Hi there, I'm Missy Information. On August 1st, I was challenged by Alice Lee of the Bat Month podcast to watch the film Twilight, 4 minutes every day during the entirety of the month. I decided to do it, because who am I to say no to someone on the internet? And thus began Twaugust. Day 6, Episode 6, it is Twaugust. Good news, the COVID test was negative. Bad news, I had all the fever, none of the immunity. That means that my energy levels are slightly up from the last 2 episodes, I would say. I have not listened to them back all the way to see just how much of a literal fever dream things were, but I am very glad to be in much better spirits for this episode because I am ready to obsess more about faces. That is where I am at right now, is seeing the faces of these 2 individuals just taking each other in. I'm fascinated by faces. I have already learned in these first 20 minutes of the show. I just was listening back to some of their notes, like, gosh, I really do talk about just how much their facial expressions are locked or not locked on each other. So in these next 4 minutes, as we get to know Edward and Bella a little bit more, we'll see how much face work we got going on. Tomorrow I will be doing a recap of the first week, getting a bit of an update of where we are in the story so far, collecting all of my disparate thoughts together into a moment where we can see where my relationship is with Twilight, where my relationship is with Robert Patterson, and where my relationship is in this entire project. And here we are, queued up at minute 20. We're going to go ahead and get to the faces in 3, 2, 1, boop. Okay. So, something about her mom traveling a bunch and that she'd want to stay with her dad for a while. And now he senses that she's unhappy. That's always great when someone just directly asks you the question or like statement I'm trying to figure out. She noticed that his eye colors have changed. They were black last time. Did I not notice that? How did I not notice that his eye color changed? I mean, I noticed his eyes were weird, but I didn't notice that his eye colors changed. Bella, you're more observant than I am. To be fair, you've been staring in that boy's eyes for a long time now, so you would know. Remember when headphones had cords that you used? God, they just can't even stop staring at each other from across the parking lot. This is a movie of stares. Oh, van coming from the middle of nowhere, about to hit him, and oh, shiza. So Robert Patterson, aka Edward, just stopped a rogue van from smashing into Bella Swan with his bare hand, thus proving that boy ain't right. Oh boy. Everyone knows his cover is blown. And some nice early thousands rock sets playing in the background. Uh-oh, the other pale people are scared because they know their cover is about to be blown. Uh-oh. Cop is out for blood. You could have been killed, yes, but I wasn't, because a magical vampire man came and helped. Wow, this movie really does a good job, at least visually cluing you in on who the vampires are, which is just making them have the palest shade of Ben Nye makeup that you can give them. And do all of them also have the amber eyes? Because now I'm noticing this might just be the thing. Wow, it's almost 3 minutes already. A lot has happened. Edward, your boy. Edward, your boy, meaning her boy or the doctor's boy? I guess I'm confused about what he was implying there. Okay, so the vampires are in society. Like, they're your doctors, they're your fellow students. So they're not trying to hide in the sense of like, oh, we're secluded from public. But they are oh, wait, that's vampire meeting around the corner. This isn't just about you. Can I talk to you for a minute? Sure. 15 seconds left. Oh, we're really going to leave me on a cliffhanger, aren't we, timing? How? How did you do? I mean, that's the same questions of how she was able to get it. All right, so we're stopping at minute 24, and the last thing that she asks is, how did you get over there so quickly? And he said, I was already over there. And she said, no, you weren't. And he said, yeah. And she said, no, how'd you get to my car? That's where we are at minute 24. So I'm assuming the next reveal in the next 4 minutes for sure is him going to have to confess that he has supernatural powers. And I can't wait for that revelation to land on her. Faces. Lots of faces. Gosh, okay. Interesting. That was an interesting way to reveal. I mean, save the cat, save the swan, I guess. And that's the way that he did it. But I'm really curious now about the vampire's role in society, according to the rules of this film, and how integrated they were. I for some reason thought they had like a parallel society. Like, I'm sure that they have their own parallel society in the sense of like, where they can be vampires and not be judged by people, blah, blah, blah. But this is a bit different than like a Harry Potter Muggles separation thing where it's like, oh, it's totally obfuscated. I'm sure it'll just be like, no, they have like a cabin in the woods where they're all just like hanging out. That's just where they are. Or like a big old mansion or something. But, yeah. Wow, now I'm thinking about vampire integration into society. That's where we're at this point in the film. I really look forward to tomorrow's next 4 minutes, as well as the recap of where we are going to be. I'm worried this film might be sucking me in, but I don't think it's sucking me in for the reasons that it sucked most people in. I think I am just enjoying the bafflement at this moment of how is this a major motion picture that was successful? Maybe that is the next step of this question, is me getting the slow burn reveal of why and how the elements of this bred a successful series, because I'm not getting it so far. But I also don't think this film was meant for me. So that's the other half of it too. So I'm curious. Very curious. That is all from me tonight. Thank you so much for listening. Take care of yourselves and look forward to that recap tomorrow.